Rhythm is the combination of different length notes to create sound and different length rests to create silence. To create varying sounds, varying duration of sounds, we use different symbols like crotchets, semibreves, minims, quavers. And each of those notes has a corresponding rest. For example, a crotchet rest, a minim rest, a semibreve rest. And here are some of those rests. So starting with the longest note, a semibreve. This just looks like a circle and it lasts 4 beats. And the semibreve has a rest, a semibreve rest, which is a little rectangle hanging from the second line of the stave. And this is also 4 beats, but it's 4 beats of silence. Then you've got a minim, which is worth 2 beats and a minim rest. Then you've got a crotchet, which is 1 beat, a quaver, which is half a beat, and a semiquaver, which is a quarter of a beat. Now, that's obviously not all the values you can get. So to get all the other values, what you need to do is add a dot. Now, what a dot does is it adds half of the note's value that it's attached to again. So if it's attached to a 4-beat semibreve, then it's going to add 2 beats onto that. If it's added to a 2-beat minim, it will just add 1 note on. If a dot is attached to a crotchet, which is 1 beat, you're going to add on half of it. So here we've got a dotted semibreve, which is like a semibreve plus a minim, which is worth 6 beats. A dotted minim is the same as a minim plus a crotchet, which is 2 plus 1 equals 3. A dotted crotchet is 1.5 beats, and a dotted quaver is half plus a quarter, which is 3/4. Dotted rhythms are an important feature of music, and they come up a lot. And what they are is a combination of long and short notes. It might be long, short, or it might be short, long, short, long. The long note will have a dot on it, and the shorter one won't. So here in this example, we've got the first 3 notes are just straight minims. That's what we call a straight rhythm. But then in the red boxes here, you can see dotted rhythms. So you've got a dotted crotchet followed by a shorter quaver, and the same in the other one. And this is what it sounds like. So you may recognize that theme tune from Star Wars. But what I want you to see is the dotted rhythm here. That's what gives it the swing. Da, 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 da. That's the swing. Da, 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 da. That's a dot. Long, short, long, short, long. Okay? So those are dotted rhythms. The next rhythmic feature that will come up is a triplet. Now, a triplet is where you have 3 notes squeezed into the space of just 2. In this example here, you can see we've got 4 crotchet beats, and we'll just look at one of these beats. This crotchet beat here, underneath we've got 3 quavers, and the little 3 above it, it shows that it's a triplet. Now normally a quaver lasts half a beat, so you'd normally get 2 quavers in the space of a crotchet. But here, in this example, we've squeezed 3 quavers into that space, so they've essentially had to shorten each of these quavers, so they're no longer worth a half each, they're going to be worth a third each. So that sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's triplet, so look out for those. The last rhythmic feature I want to talk about is syncopation, and this is a really important feature as well. Syncopation is where you emphasize the offbeat and where rhythms are played off the beat. So this example here is Happy by Pharrell Williams, and it starts off with straight crotchets, but then the melody and bass line are very syncopated. So have a listen to this. Okay, so you could hear most of those notes were played in between the regular beats. Okay, so that's syncopation, and you'll come across that loads in pop music, rock music. So how do we describe rhythm in music then? Well, the first simple thing you can do is if you notice that there are a lot of a particular kind of note. So you may notice that it's lots of quavers, for example, lots of short notes, quavers, semiquavers. Or it might have lots of long notes, lots of semibreves or minims. Okay, the next thing is to look out for rhythmic features. Does it have dotted rhythms, that da 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 da? Does it have triplets, the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a? And are they mostly straight rhythms, 1, 2, 3, or are they syncopated rhythms? 1 da 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 da. Okay, so those are the things you want to look out for. And remember, always you need to describe what effect these things are having on the music. What's the purpose of them? And how does it contribute to the style of the music? So you need to have a bit of background knowledge of the piece that you're studying. Is it jazz? Is it Baroque music? Is it classical? And think about how do these rhythms contribute to the effect of the music.